You are back with First Edition, folks, and it's good to have your company on this Thursday morning. Well, Susan Lee is on the verge of dumping a net zero emissions target after a majority of Liberal MPs came out against the goal in a mammoth 5-hour meeting yesterday. Joining us live from Canberra is the Shadow Communications Minister, Melissa McIntosh. It's good to see you again this morning, Melissa. So how was the meeting? We'll start there. Was it tense? Was it shouty or subdued?
Good morning. I just wanted to comment. I've got a spring in my step this morning, but I'm not running like my mates Dan and Hasty. That's a good effort from them. It probably shows, how optimistic we are coming out of that meeting. And it was really civilised, and people got to have their say. It did go for 5 hours. We all had about 5 minutes each to express our views, and I really value the opportunity because, as you know, I've been fighting for weeks now for us to stand up for everyday Australians like the people in my community in Western Sydney because they don't want net zero, because it is literally killing them and their lifestyles and their way of living, businesses and manufacturing. So it was a productive day, and we've still got another session today with the Shadow Ministry. We've
spoken to you a few times in the past week or so, Melissa, and we know your view, but formally, will net zero be dumped?
I hope that we will get to that position. I can't say formally yet because we do have to go into the Shadow Ministry meeting, and there are people in that meeting who probably support net zero for their various reasons, and it'll be up to Dan and Susan to negotiate our way through that. But yesterday's purpose was for everyone to express their views, their opinions about it, and some people, like myself, went in strong on the basis that that's what their community wants.
You've got the numbers, though, don't you?
Well, as I said, I hope we land in that position. I've said that all along. I was feeling quite optimistic that that's where we'd go, but for us, that's just one step of the journey. If we do, and I hope we do, drop net zero by 2050, we then have to explain to the Australian people why and what policies we're going to bring forward to make life better for them, because that is ultimately what it is about, is standing up for the Australian people and saying we don't want to go down this renewables only approach. We know your power bills are so high, and we have a different pathway, a better future for Australia.
So if net zero is dumped, what will it mean for Paris?
Across the board in the party room yesterday, there was still strong support for Paris. There was no dissenting issues around Paris. I think it's important for us to continue to uphold our international, our international obligations when it comes to climate and emissions reduction. And everyone that stood up against net zero still stood up and said that we do have a role to play in bringing down emissions, just not this harder, faster, deeper pace that we're going, that the Albanese Labor government has set us on.
Could it be seen as cute, though, taking out net zero but staying in Paris?
No, I think everyone saw that as two separate things when the Paris Agreement was established. There was no discussion around net zero by 2050. You've got to remember, this is not anti-climate or anti-environment. The reality, and I've said this before because it's how my community feels, the reality it is that it's about creating policies that put Australians first. Overwhelmingly, people want us to prioritise affordability when it comes to power prices.
Well, it's good that you point that out, because it will be seen by many as a move towards climate denialism. So how will you argue against that?
That's very important. That's a really good point, Pete. It's going to be up to us as a party to strongly articulate the reasons why we are making these decisions. And we'd have to be, have our head in the sand to think that we're not going to receive attacks from all sorts of angles on this. But the intent is strong. We do care about the environment. We do care about climate policy, and we do care about Australians. But when people are suffering so badly right now, not just in my patch, but right across the country, we can't expect that things are going to change if we don't change direction. So I think I hope and I'm feeling confident this will be a strong stand, and then we set our policies and then we sell that to the Australian people and tell them what we're going to do for them.
OK, so Cam Redden, he read out part of the deal a little earlier and will again next hour, but part of it is to move towards nuclear and also to extend coal. Why not then just go for new coal?
Well, that's going to be up to Dan Tehan to work through the technicalities and the details, and we haven't had that discussion yet as a party room or indeed a shadow cabinet to really go into the nuts and bolts of what's next. Yesterday's purpose was to say we can't keep leading our country down this pathway when it is destroying industry, manufacturing's going offshore, we're losing our sovereign capability. So that will be the next process. I think we need short, medium, long-term energy policy. We do need to look at nuclear. We need to power the AI, the data centres that we could be making opportunities with in this country, and we can't do that with the reliability on local grids like we're doing right now.
Well, would you support new coal stations?
Yeah, I support us, like Dan's sort of created a new term, sweating out the current assets and ensuring that
what about building new ones,
and
though?
Australians have 24. Well, let's look at that as part of our policy. I'm not going to announce the coalition's policy. I might get in trouble from my colleagues when it's not my patch today. But I think we should be looking at all of the options and have a technology agnostic approach.
Is Susan Lee's position as leader safe?
It's safe on my watch. I've always backed the leader, and I think yesterday was, a testament to what she always said she would do and run through the process on important issues, and everyone got to have their say. And a lot of people said to me, I've been in here for 6 years, but people that have been longer, that hasn't happened for a very long time. So I think that was a good process, and no one was talking, despite playing the pack coming in. No one was talking about leadership challenges yesterday.
So you don't expect a challenge anytime soon?
Unless I'm getting missed out on the phone calls, no, I don't expect anything to happen soon.
So has this meeting, if net zero is taken out, does that solidify her position as leader for the time being? I think that Susan's done a good job, a solid job on getting us to this place when it comes to net zero. It's a very complex issue, and it's an issue that we know has, been an issue for the coalition for a long time, and it has brought down previous leaders. So for now, as I said, I'm not hearing any murmurings that there's a leadership takeover, but we need to be a strong opposition as well. It's not just about this one issue. Australians need us to be prosecuting everything. Right now, the government's getting away with way too much. They're missing targets. They're letting Australians down. So let's concentrate on prosecuting on behalf of the Australian people, everyday Australians. All right, Melissa McIntosh, Shadow Communications Minister, thank you so much for your time as always. We'll talk to you again soon.